So, I have to state that I'm very disappointed, Roll20, that there are 2 songs in Fanburst called Orc 1. Both spelled the same way.
It's okay, you can edit the first bit out because people's mics were queuing in the background and I had to go in and mute them. So,
Okay.
it'll be fine.
That's
Just
fine.
the first, 23 seconds.
We'll just cut that out.
Well, to be fair, my mic, I have a mute switch on my microphone. I just would hit that instead. It's easier.
It was Matt and Ashy.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, I got it on my end.
Okay.
It's fine. I got you.
Thank you. Tis appreciated.
I got you, fam.
I got you, fam.
So, who feels like a recap? There's a shiny legend point for you.
So this is awkward, but I still don't have my notebook.
Still lost at the family home.
Oh, it's in the mail.
Oh, jeez.
With the handful of other things I left at my parents' house, to and including my earbuds.
Oh.
Some things happened. We went to a place. There was a beach, and then Malgarian ate some boats.
We traveled back to Jarhadan, fought against the invading Jumarad forces.
Explosion.
Found out there were more Planeswalkers on there, and Tiedrix is suspicious as fuck.
So it's a day that begins the continent in that regard. The gist of it is we showed up on D-Day and fucked up D-Day.
It's a day that begins
Yeah.
in a continent in that regard. Is that what just came out of your mouth?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Tiedrix is fine with you guys being on his plane because he knows what your intentions are to help him. These fuckers, however,
Wait, he knows what. Okay.
They're mercenaries.
Pretending to be mercenaries.
It'll be fine. Everything is fine.
Pretending to be mercenaries who work for free. If that ain't anything suspicious.
They're very
shady as
philanthropic.
fuck. Shady as fuck.
Shady.
Jimmy,
I'll be
your
right back.
Texan capitalism is showing. Altruism is seen as a suspicious activity.
Well, considering where Tiedrix is his background, yes. Charity is something to be suspicious of.
So as I said, people are being helpful. He's suspicious. It's a regular day for him.
He's relaxed with the party. He just doesn't like these guys.
As well you shouldn't. No, you can form your own opinions about these guys.
They're assholes and they need to leave. That is Tiedrix's opinion. Tiedrix is
Like,
very
that one's got
opinionated
long
person.
hair. He's obviously a degenerate.
Long hair that always flows in the breeze perfectly.
That is
As though
the
that
best cantrip.
breeze. Yes, as though that breeze was meant for him.
Yes, so we got Fabio and Bebop. So they need to go.
What about the third one?
Bebop was the warthog.
Oh, you mean Nebula and the Infinity Gauntlet? Yeah, she needs to go too.
All right. And what was the party about to do before we left?
Go to the capital.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes, we were going to board a boat offered by these people. Yes.
By the
Yeah.
degenerate hippie.
Yes.
I believe he also invited you to come talk with him further at their mustering camp.
That's true. He did invite us to come to his pit tent.
No.
Yes.
That's where Fizzle
Prob-
will be.
probably to get invite to this boat, as I remember it.
Oh. Okay,
'Cause-
you guys
'cause-
go deal with that. I'm gonna stay over here.
Well, because as I remember, we were talking about Planeswalker stuff, and he was like, we should probably retire to more private to talk about Planeswalker stuff, considering where we are.
I just want to imagine that on the way to said tent, somebody like Malgarian, somebody sent a message to Malgarian like, "Hey, we're gonna go do that." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'll be a few minutes." And then when he flies off to catch up as he's landing, he's like, "Just give me a moment to slip into something a little more comfortable, since we're gonna go somewhere a little bit more private." And then he turns into like, I don't know, fucking Conan or whatever.
Yes, more shirtless men on the tropical island.
For whatever reason, my headcanon is that Malgarian's human form is Ryan Reynolds.
Given my mood today, that's not entirely inaccurate.
I don't really have a good reason for this. It just...
So,
You just like thinking about Ryan Reynolds without a shirt on.
That too.
so Fizzle is down. Malgarian is down once informed.
Fizzle's always down.
Tiedrix is
DTF.
like, I want to stay as far away from these people as possible. Barring their invitation to vote.
Actually, thinking about out of character, Teachers probably will go in. He is going to stay as far away in the tent as possible, but he needs to ensure what their motives are. Their stated motives, anyway.
Vidus is going to stay seated next to Tiedrix in wolf form with his tail thumping the back of his legs. The back of Tiedrix's legs.
Tiedrix should totally pet him.
What about Marcus and Jing?
Marcus is trying not to fall asleep.
In character or out of character? Because that sounded like it could be applied either way.
Yes. With a nice big...
Curse you.
You're
I
quite
take
welcome.
away a legend point for that. No one makes me yawn my own yawns. No, I give it back. Okay, fine. And
Fine.
Gladius! Is there a Gladius here? Did we forget to unmute him?
I didn't mute him server side, I just muted people on my end.
Okay, so that's why no one can hear me.
Let's be honest, we've all done that.
Yeah.
We've all done that so many times. Like, Emily, what are we killing tonight? I
What?
guess she's, and like 10 minutes later, she's not there. She doesn't say anything. She's like, yeah, I guess she's not there, whatever.
I'm always there. I'm just not always listening.
She decides when she wants to be be present.
Quantum Emily?
Schrodinger's Emily?
It's got weird.
No,
Why not
no.
both?
No. We are not getting into another discussion about Schroeder. No.
Yeah, that was
Schrodinger's
that was-
Pixie.
no. That was Saturday night's game. We are done with this. We are on Monday night.
I'm not done with this. I don't play Star Trek. Because I would probably push Darby off of a bridge. Or at the airlock.
Let's be fair. Darby pushes himself off of bridges.
You can't push someone off a bridge. It's encased in the entire ship.
You know what?
But we can
Tell that to the more recent movies.
I mean, have you
We don't talk about the
seen...
more recent movies.
Have you seen the Naradra? Half the thing is open space.
No,
I
I've
don't
not
know
seen that.
what you're talking about.
However, I believe that Jimmy has a word for this. The act of teleporting someone off the bridge into open.
Oh, the
What was it
Morgan
called?
Hawthorne Protocol.
Yes, we have a
Yes.
name for that.
I love it.
I don't
So-
get it.
Well, that's
was-
the name.
It was a friend's. It was during a previous Star Trek game. A friend was playing a very obnoxious character named Morgan Hawthorne. He tried stealing from the party, and they beamed him into space.
I feel like this is against Starfleet regulations.
They weren't playing on a Starfleet ship at the time.
Okay, that's fair.
So, getting back into character, tangents aside, you have attended the tent of these people, these planeswalkers.
Attempted.
Attended, yes. Stop making dad jokes.
No.
So the Rocks, Yav is his name, as established last week, sets about basically kindling a small cook fire in the midst of the tent. It's a very big tent. And setting to work getting some things going. Turns to you assembled. Anyone need coffee? Tea? What do you guys take?
Coffee, please.
I'm good.
Both mixed together.
Adventurers, I'll take it.
I'd love a little green tea if you have it.
Sure, I'm just made of supplies.
I almost want to kick the wolf.
The wolf, he just wants to keep you company.
No,
The
not
man
that
wolf.
one. The man wolf.
Not that one.
I'm gonna go over and shove some tissues in the wolf's nose.
At the point of like, oh, I'm just made of supplies or whatever, Malgarian's gonna walk over and he's just gonna like hold. He walks over with his hands like open at his sides, and then when he holds out his hand, there's a freaking packet of green tea in it because he just creation magicked it up.
You notice that he was engaged in doing much the same cantrip. And badly at it. Stupid making things. Why can't it be easy as people?
Because people are soft and squishy.
Sore plants. But thank you kindly. He takes it and gets to work. What was her name? Sika sets to work, basically taking off,
Taking off
depowering
her
it.
what? Oh,
the whole battery pack she has on her back and the freaking lightning gauntlet.
yeah. You cut out when you said taking off her, and then just silence, and it was great.
Oh, everyone can fill in the place with their imagination.
Fizzle doesn't move quite that fast. Come on.
I have an entire prologue that says otherwise.
It wasn't that fast. They were hanging out.
They
for
showed up
an
at the sex
entire
party.
Evening.
They
Well,
showed
they-
up at the sex party and they hooked up.
They talked before that, and then you know what? They went to the party, but they spent all night learning magic together and bonding.
Is that what they call it now?
Yes, that is what they
Yes.
call it now.
So, while all this is going on, the Riddick looks over to the group and goes, "So, perhaps we compare a few things and see if our goals align." Who wants to go first?
Out of character, I miss being able to cast Zone of Truth.
Hi, my name is Fizzle. I'm here to do stuff and have fun.
Admirable goals, Little Pixie. Admirable goals. Not quite exactly the answer to the question I was looking for, but admirable. He looks over at Tiedrix, who is the guy who so far in this party has talked the most.
Oh, and killed something. Necromancers, I think.
His
And
eyebrow
vampires.
raises. Presumably
Agnes's
the other one.
eyebrow raises.
Presumably the other one too, but it's covered in eye patch.
Fizzle lifts her eyebrow and reaches over to the nearest person and manually lifts their eyebrow as well.
That'd be Marcus,
That's fine.
who's asleep. Eyebrow lifting in the sleep.
Yep, pretty much. It's worth noting that he's not snoring anymore. He's breathing through his mouth, and it's just really loud and obnoxious.
So, I'm sensing a little mistrust here. Mostly in the fact that you're getting looks and not speaking. So I'll go first.
I offer a nod.
How to put this without sounding unbearably pretentious?
At this point, Malgarian raises a hand as if like trying to dissuade that thought. It's like they travel with a dragon. You don't need to worry about that.
Dragons are not always pretentious.
From what I hear about other planes, it seems to be a rule, but as if you say so.
As I stated.
Stop being pretentious, Malgarian.
Going to say
No.
you are not precisely skipped by the pretentiousness.
It's not pretentious if it's justified.
Yes, in fact it is.
Oh, baby dragon has told you.
She is not a dragon.
I am not. Perhaps. Yes, Shino. Fizzle. There's a difference.
Close enough.
Not even lizard folk
That's
accurately
the noise
described.
I was looking for.
Really? That's the noise you've been going after?
I have many interests. That's just one of them.
Akvis looks between the pixie and the dragon and looks back at the pixie a little bit concerned. Which just kind of sets her chin on her hand and looks back at their newfound compatriot, I suppose. And then glances at Tiedrix as if to say, you got us into this. Get us out.
The Riddick continues. I guess it would be best to let my associates state exactly what we do. At this point, Miss Marilyn there looks up from where I don't know what's going on in the background there.
My younger brother came home and didn't realize I was on the mic, so he started singing the Fanta song at full blast.
Oh. Got it. So, Sika looks up and goes, in short, we solve problems.
You said that already.
It's the best description for what we do. We go to planes that have suffered some form of tragedy, and we do our best to right it. Though I'm a little hazy on the specifics as to why or what targets we pick. Generally, I let Riddick pick that. He just
What
Why?
calls
did
you when he needs
he-
help. What was that?
Why?
Tiedrix looks at Riddick and goes, "Then what brought you?"
Let's be honest here, Tiedrix. They're likely here for the same, if not similar reasons as we are. Does it really serve any of us to be at each other's throats already when we already know we share at least one common enemy?
But I don't know that.
Yav points over at Acvis, gives a throaty chuckle, and goes, "She's sensible. I like it." Honestly, the reason would be the balance, I guess is what he'd call. And to that, Riddick just kind of nods. There's a structure to things.
These guys are better at being us than we are.
They each exchange a look, and almost in unison are like, are we?
If you don't know, maybe not.
So Riddick kind of continues. A long time ago, my grandfather told me stories of a dragon who believed that everything in the multiverse ran on a balance.
Malgarian, was that you?
No,
Sounds like me, but I don't remember this.
a much bigger dragon.
That's concerning.
One that had long ago left physical form, only as a spirit.
That's disappointing. I wanted to write.
No, you still could. That's a tangible spirit. Either way, I'm getting sidetracked.
You're welcome.
It described to my grandfather that there's a balance to things. Good in, good out. What happens on one plane happens on another. Tragedy here is benefice another place. But the sad thing as I moved along in my life is that I realized that benefice doesn't always come out as fair. And so, sometimes, when scrying reveals to me an imbalance and unfairness, such as here, I take it upon myself to call some associates and write what caused the imbalance, the unfairness.
Just so we're clear, what do you think this unfairness is?
Well, he considers a moment, almost like he's, again, just like you, considering whether or not to try. The Jumarad breaking free is a catastrophe. But this catastrophe has caused a series of renewals on another plane, known as Caldhelm, specifically to a barbarian tribe. However, these barbarians I don't see as very good folk. They're more the burn, pillage, rape, and conquest sort of barbarians.
Huh?
So,
Oh,
write the equation. A defeat here for Jumarad could spell a defeat for them there on Caldhelm.
This is weird, but alright, why not?
I know, like I said, I'm trying to make it not sound pretentious and weird, but it's something of my life's work now that I can walk.
Okay, fine. I'll take
No.
you at your face. I'll take you at face value. There's something that you need to know first.
Tiedrix, he's growing.
Shut up.
At this point, Malgarian just like gently pats her on the head. Like, I know.
Actus shushes her, and Vidus leans closer and presses against Tiedrix's thigh.
You were saying, lad.
I
don't
will
know why.
defend this plane to the death. So, beyond Jimarad, if you have any intentions with the rest of this plane, know you are my enemy.
He gives a look, and he's simply all of Jarhadan, or just Rilaru?
I would prefer the entirety, but more specifically Rilaru. If I have to give any type of concession, Rilaru is not part of it.
Oh, I think you might have misunderstood my question, but either way, it's acceptable to me. We had no intention of anything otherwise. Push back, end the war, hand to defeat. So,
Then I have no problem.
towards that end, what are you six here for?
To restore the barrier around Jumarad.
To help a friend who has requested our aid.
I fell asleep and woke up here.
Out of character, Jing and Marcus are just so annoying to Tiedrix right now.
Right now, these guys are interesting. That's why I'm here.
Plus, if you two are so interested in trying to make sure that multiplanar catastrophes are contained, the Jimarad here are allied with a clan of vampires that apparently has multiple planeswalkers. Well, at least one less planeswalker now. Two. And have been making a habit of making portals across a whole bunch of planes with intentions to infest and spread. So, containing the Jimarad denies them one of their allies. Full disclosure.
Riddick nods. Yes, House Casimir and the forces of the Lord of the Tower.
The forces of the who?
The Lord of the Tower.
Yes, the nature of the question was hoping that you would elaborate rather than simply repeat.
Sauron?
No, not Sauron. That's an entirely different evil Lord of the Lord.
Saruman?
That's a wizard.
He's also Lord of a Tower, though.
The Lord of the Tower is obviously House Casimir are not the only players on the board. There is a mastermind. I don't know who he is. I do not know where he lays. All I know of him is what the Jumarad called him, which we have extracted during our campaign here. They call him the Lord of the Tower. He has many forces and has taken many planeswalkers. This concerns me. However, I'm not sure how to bring about a conclusion to this.
Well, even if it is only one of their associate groups and such, House Casimir is specifically gunning towards the Pixie and myself, so if you're looking to try and keep a lead, well, keeping an eye on our backs wouldn't exactly be too far amiss.
Well, I can tell you that House Casimir also called him the Lord of the Tower.
When did you learn that one?
It would be the voice of my... Thanks to him.
You may want to explain that in a way that doesn't make you sound like a crazy person.
That is how I was trying to figure. What I was trying to think of how to say nicely.
I got it from the white mage on the last plane when I read his mind.
In short, the one who hates necromancy took a convoluted route to say, I didn't actually eat his soul, I just copied his brain.
So
Riddick looks over to Yav. Well, you're the priest of the ring. Can you do anything for brain damage? Yav looks over to Tiedrix, like, with your permission. I didn't do his voice right, sorry.
Jing bites his tongue.
Out of character, I don't want to get rid of the voice just because it's so much fun to play.
I don't have any intentions of taking it from you. I'd have to take a peek at what's inside your head, but hence, with your permission.
Mm.
In the background, Marcus sneezes really hard and blows all of the tissues that have been stuffed up his nose out on the little pixie lady.
Out of character, you're so lucky he is starting to shove rocks down your throat.
I've heard this fairy tale.
The hilarious bit is if you did that, he'd actually wake up and start doing things.
I know, that's the point. It's just going to be dropping stuff into your mouth so you wake up.
all right, well, now I'm gonna make it more fun. I'm gonna sprinkle glitter all over.
Shiny werewolf.
So we've got a shiny werewolf and a snot covered pixie.
I want to keep the memories because it gives me insight into ways to use magic that I've never thought of before.
An acceptable reason to keep such things. But if there is damage there,
Akvis can do this too, right?
Hypothetically.
Because did she not?
Yeah.
Go
if you have if you have prescience, you could look inside it. That's what Yav's going to do.
Do you prefer it was me with my talons in your mind, Tiedrix?
Actually, I would just prefer if you escorted him through.
Of course.
Telepathy is still new to me, so I'm not entirely used to it.
I don't quite trust mine. Oh, sorry, I gotta get the growl going. I don't quite trust mind magic myself, but I'm a good healer. I patched up more than a few gladiators in my day. Plenty of concussions, brain damage.
In that case, I can act as a conduit and a guide for your expertise.
Alright, so they both approach Tiedrix.
Yep.
Okay. As long as Agnes is doing it, Tiedrix will allow it.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on. Tiedrix is trusting the necromancer?
Remember, we had that discussion
We did.
about... So, yeah, he trusts you a bit more than he would have if if that discussion had not happened.
Vidus leans further against his leg.
Okay.
Malgarian.
Plus, Vidus is a wolf, so yeah, total loving on the dog.
Yes. Does Vidus need prescience to support this?
Yes.
Can I make an argument for the fact that he is supporting Tiedrix emotionally and would therefore make it easier?
No. Besides, you're going to actually technically be helping Yav, because
That's fair.
he has 4 ranks in pressing,
Okay.
so he's probably going to take lead on this one,
Okay.
and you'll give him advantage.
That's fair.
Okay. Tiedrix, what you feel is basically just kind of just a soft presence inside your head.
Okay.
Something that you can recognize is not supposed to be there, kind of like an intruding thought or just a mild distraction. As Yav rests his hand on Akvis's shoulder and Akvis rests her hand on your and after about, I'd say, 2 minutes, Yav pulls his hand away, simply says, "Thank you for your aid." All right, this is... Oof. You got some severe mana burn inside your brain, son. Did you attempt something you didn't quite know how to...
At this point, Tiedrix will pull out the whip handle and say, "This allows me to control actions of others. I was attempting to control this necromancer to have him tell us the truth, and I suddenly got all of his memories."
Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the whip, the Beastmasters of this plane.
Yes.
Isn't that for animals, not people?
I've used it on people before.
I see. Well, what happens, or what I think happened from the way your thoughts are arranged...
Tiedrix got brain damage?
Not so much.
Shut up!
What Tiedrix got was a backlash from a spell. His
Brain
brain
damage.
got a little mana burnt, but in the process,
Brain damage.
the spell seems to have exceeded its original intentions. It went wild. In short, he wanted the thing to tell him the truth, the whole truth, to hold no secrets. Well, now he knows everything about the man, implicitly, with no secret.
Dirty?
Shush.
Shut up, Matt!
In short, what's going on in your head, Tiedrix, is that your mind is currently dealing with the fact it currently has thoughts, memories, perspectives that are in essence alien to it. They were never meant to have them. And it's struggling to come to terms with that. So, that's what's going on in your head. In time, eventually, you will hopefully come to terms with what's in there. And then your mind can begin the healing process. I wish I could say that the diagnosis was better, but I don't have the mastery of mind magic to fix this, and honestly, I might not even recommend trying. It could be further damage to just sunder out part of what is there.
It's okay. As long as there's no alcohol, I'll be fine. Or better.
With that, Ninaro appears across the tent. I am
Oh,
here
shit.
without alcohol. Tiedrix turns to him and says, yes, but not as often. So I'm having a small, out of character, DM's having a short memory fart. You told Riddick and Zeke, the three of them, about the whole trying to establish a barrier thing, right? Yes. Okay. I didn't say what exactly the barrier was. It was just to reestablish the barrier. Unless he just went traipsing through my entire memory. So at this point, Riddick, to try and continue the conversation and just direct it back to where he wants it a little bit, simply says, so what do you need to set up this barrier? Because that sounds like it can end this war really quick. I need the mana crystal that's underneath Rilaru. Sika looks up. There's a what? Under what?
He said there's a mana crystal under that place.
So apparently it's the capital. He's convinced that the enemy doesn't know where it is.
I'm gonna touch it.
My concern is that they're just as likely to have scrying magic on top of necromancy.
Nice.
Okay, I'm back. And to that, you need to get to the capital. Yes.
Yeah, if we're gonna touch that crystal.
Well, if that's what you need, our boat's at your disposal. We will probably have to remain here on the front lines, but I could perhaps persuade the Dwarven captain to, what was that sound?
That was me groaning.
I take it you wish for us to come with you. Riddick nods. Just her, right?
Just her.
You know me so well.
I'm good at reading people.
We're gonna be best friends.
He looks from you over to the lightning mage, back to you. Are you sure about that?
I meant you and me. I don't know about us. I mean, she
Oh.
didn't build her thing. She did work on it. You know, she did improve it. So that's definitely, you know, a step in the right direction.
She seems almost slightly taken aback. Hey, I'm a student. I'm learning, thank you.
Oh. Okay, then yeah, we're gonna be best friends. I know you're excited.
Oh, at this point, thrilled beyond my wildest dreams.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I do believe at least some of us need to stay here and protect the front line, or at very least me. But I can talk with the dwarf captain to get some of his soldiers for the ship to crew and take you to the capital.
I mean, do what you want, you're grown. Wait, you are grown, right?
You have. Oh, you have no idea, little pixie. No idea.
That's because we just met.
He gives a wistful sigh that only the very old make when encountering the quite young.
Malgarian feels that sigh in his soul.
Tyrion is that sigh in his soul, let's be honest.
Also true.
Look, I get it, but I don't have time to just like faff about, okay? So again, you do
Her
what you want.
attention is very short.
Yeah. Y'all just do what you want. And you know, I'll just be wherever I think the most fun is, because that's what's important right now. Nothing else matters.
To each pixie their own.
Uh-huh.
So before I head off, is there any... Well, no. These two. And Riddick walks off to go and arrange this boat. And leaves Yav and Sika at the mercy of the party. The poor soul.
So anyway, Sika, you don't have to come with us, but I would like to talk to you sometime because, I don't know, we're from the same place, and I don't know how long you've been gone, but if it's been less time than me, then I'd like to ask you, you know, how things are going back home and stuff. Also, I want to talk to you about that thing because it's awesome, and you know, see where things go. Wink.
Ooh. Let's look at this motherfucker. Let's look at this motherfucker. That's Bulgarian on this plane.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Ajaradan is the plane of men in armor with giant swords.
Apparently.
So to Fizzle's thing is like Sika actually kind of brightens. Of course, I was there just a few months ago. You know, before Riddick contacted me again.
Sure. I've been gone for a while.
Oh, how long?
I forget. How long have we been gone, guys? Or actually, you guys wouldn't know. Tiedrix and Malgarian. What are you?
Malgarian leans down, like, we took out the vampire in the inn about 2-3 months ago.
Right.
Actually, wouldn't it have been a little bit longer than that because Tiedrix has been traveling with you guys for about 3 months.
We were only in Muraganda for like a week ish. No, about 2 weeks.
Josh?
Hey, I am not going to attempt to rationalize the craziness of the timeline that you guys established back in the phase.
Please.
That
Did we
one,
establish timeline then? I mean, honestly, did
We kind of did. We kind of established a timeline for the party of like who joined up when and what. But there was also a lot of like crossover where like some people got left behind places so that they could go to other places. So yeah, it could possibly be that Tiedrix met them 4 months ago and the vampire thing also happened 4 months.
the gist of it was that everybody had met Malgarian before, and he pretty much called all of them up, be like, "Hey, I figured out where I was going. You want to come along?" And then they kind of all showed up. Malgarian and Fizzle met at the inn where they offed a vampire, and we kind of did like some vague thing or whatever where Tiedrix and Malgarian had met where I don't even remember the specifics of it because I don't think we had any. It was pretty much he and Tiedrix was like, "Oh, you seem weird," and then Malgarian's like, "Well, there's a reason for that." And then after a little bit, he found out that Malgarian was a fucking dragon. At which point, it was Tiedrix was like, "Garian senpai," and that was pretty much the gist of the mentality from there. And then we did our conversion, and it's kind of gotten thrown to the wind.
Josh, how long? You get to decide now.
You've heard the arguments.
I'm going to say that, yeah, it both happened at the same about 4 months ago. It's just that Tiedrix kind of was left on his own to figure his stuff out for a little bit, and then joined back up not long after the whole dragon slaying event.
Well, also you have to remember that
Or, not dragon slaying, vampire slaying event, sorry.
The inn vampire event happened before Fizzle even had built her wings, so that was before she even sparked.
Oh, yes.
Let's just say it's been a little while.
Yeah, we're just gonna stick to the Marvel classic. A few months ago. Yeah, exactly. Until after this session where we all sit and probably chat out where this stuff goes.
I'm afraid.
Why not? We can decide this later on. So. Yes, so there's your answer. So 3 or 4 months.
Things have been crazy. It's been a few months.
I imagine. The first few months of walking are always crazy. Deciding what you're going to do with this gift.
Huh.
Gift.
For some, it's a cut.
I pretty much decided it was, it wasn't hard.
So Yav also joins the conversation. As he actually is kind of sitting down next to Marcus, like examining the sleeping wolfman.
The sleeping wolfman covered in glitter.
So, a question for you then, small one.
Yeah.
Don't most pixies have like wings made out of
Wings?
normal pixies?
Yes, most of them do. And I did for a while.
You watch as he literally licks his finger, like inserts it into the side of his cheek, sucks, pulls it out with a pop, and then inserts it into Marcus's ear. What?
Okay then.
That was amazing.
Well, Marcus gets up, goes into a battle rage, looks around the room, doesn't see any enemies, freaks the fuck out, and just
So he books it up a tent.
Yep.
Malgarian's gonna grab him by the scruff as he goes past, like just goes from having his arms crossed to just snapping an arm out and grabbing and just like chill.
That was the best thing.
That was pretty good. He got you.
It always works on the pit beasts.
So
No matter.
I have to ask a question. Does Marcus have a tail?
Yeah.
Was it up or down?
Oh, at this point it is down between the legs, kind of wrapped around his left leg.
I was asking about his tail, not his penis.
Gross.
Oh, Lord.
Wah, wah. Anyway.
Damn it, Matt.
What?
Trying to give out legend points here.
I didn't do anything! Oh, I forgot about that joke.
But anyway, yeah, I did have them before, and then I didn't, so I made new ones.
Yav seems to understand your counter, or your candor. Sorry. And Sika, who I assume you're sitting next to, actually like reaches out and gives you a gentle pat on your shoulder.
It's okay. I'm over it. These are nice. These will do. And I made them. And they're amazing.
How did you lose your wing? I assume you just replaced them because you don't like them.
Yav kind of gives. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
There are some problems on Vrin, and we have some inventive solutions, but those solutions also produce certain toxic byproducts.
Sika looks up and nods. Yes, many of the artifacts produce a certain pollution, but it's to the point where, on Vrin at least, there's no way to change this. It's this or no magic at all.
But anyway, turns out certain toxic byproducts on some very delicate wing-like organs is not good.
And at this point, the lightning mage covers her mouth. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I'm over it.
Out of character, does Fizzle have PTSD about this experience by any chance? That's what it sounds like.
No, actually, Fizzle is fine. She made her wings.
She can now knock people the fuck out with her wings.
Yav gives a contemplative, it's kind of like what he was just really doing with Tiedrix, where he's got that doctor vibe going, but he says nothing.
Doctor vibe.
Yeah, where he's basically gone from being like, I am a big tough rhino man, to being like, I have a bedside manner too.
I mean, they're not perfect, and they are a little heavier, but they're amazing and pretty. I made them pretty.
They are very pretty, says the lightning mage.
Thank
And at this point, Riddick returns with the dwarf captain in tow. And I'm going to try and do my best dwarf. As soon as the coughing fit is done. So what's this here that I hear about your lads taking a boat back to the capital? I'm a dwarf of terror.
Well, that flying lizard sunk too many of the enemy boats, so we have to requisition one from our side to get back to the capital for, reconnoitering with the command.
And you're going to be taking at least 6 of my men?
We are? What?
At this point, Tiedrix will just look at him and says, I'm a member of the Royal Guard. I need to get back to my post.
One of the fancy robed leash carriers, are you?
Yeah,
He knows exactly who you are. That's just like you, Tiedrix.
Fine. We invalidate our contract if we refuse any from any high-ranking member of the Relalian military. So, I guess I have no choice then. Very well. Take some rest, get some food, some supplies. Requisition from the quartermaster, as usual. And I'll get the boat ready to sail. He turns and he leaves. 60, sir. 60.
Very well then.
And until the Royal Treasury's money runs out in a few months, we will hold this island.
Tiedrix is biting his tongue.
Why are you holding this island?
He was like mid-stride to leave, and he turns back around. 'Cause you foxy-faced freak. Some things are just worth fighting for. If this little chain of islands falls, whose homestead's next? Mine? My son's? Ain't happening. We stop them here.
We all have reasons for the things we choose to defend.
I'm gonna ask the dwarf captain. Are the dwarves the only ones that are helping us?
A few elves.
Really?
A few others. Only those that knew the stakes. So long as the money was good. And with that, he turns again and takes about 3 steps to leave if no one stops him.
No. I was about to say, Jimmy wants to thank him, but I know Tiedrix would know better, because then the dwarf would know something is off about him.
Do you know what the funny thing is? Tiedrix just spared Actus getting a similar insult. He was about to call her a scaly-tailed bladder.
We're all racists on this plane, just so you know.
Agnes curls her tail up under her cape. Loki, though, that was kind of epic.
Why would he focus so much on my face being fox-like? The entire thing is fox.
So no, almost as though he can hear you in the distance.
No.
You hear Dwarven shouting back, "Because it's weird in expression, I can't tell what your face is supposed to be saying to me. Dang flop-eared, fluffy-tailed bastard." Hump, hump, hump.
Vidus woofs.
My ears are perfectly erect, thank you.
But no, I thank you so much for letting me do that, because one of my favorite features of the Kamigawa Kitsune is that people can't tell what their expression is, and that's why everyone kind of mistrusts them.
Oh. Okay, full disclosure, I didn't understand the explanation at all, because that accent was so thick, and...
Oh. Yeah, he said he doesn't like your face because he can't tell what expression you're making. So, with that, I think we'll close this scene.
Wait, you mean the expression he makes isn't just always neutral and slightly stupid? That's noise.
At this point, Malgarian just kind of just pats the Kitsune's head.
These guys are so much fun.
So, to a boat.
A boat.
You
What
depart
about
the
it?
island. Well,
Oh, not Canadian. Never mind.
oh snap. More dad jokes. Put your tokens wherever you want them on this thing.
Wait, where's my token?
He's not in his dragon form. I'm just using that one because if I put down the other one, you won't be able to see him with the color of the background.
That's okay.
Fizzle knows where it's at.
Reenacting the Titanic with Vidus.
Vidus definitely has his paws up on the front of the boat. And his nose is resting on the wooden edge. And Akvis has her hand tangled in his fur. It's a damn good wolf shapeshift. You did good, Malgarian.
Hardly anyone knows it's really a bone dragon. Actually, at this point, no one knows.
The one guy
I was
knew he
gonna say-
wasn't actually a wolf. Because similar magic.
True enough.
I was not invited to the boat.
You have just drag and drop.
You have to
your
place
turn.
your own token.
Where is it?
In the journal.
Journal?
Okay, upper right corner, there's a text bubble, right? The very next one that looks like a newspaper, click on that.
Yeah, I know about
Okay.
the journal.
Now click on Hu Lijing and drag him onto the map.
No, I can do that.
Now you do.
Yep. Tiedrix has a friend.
Wait, who's there?
The Figment.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck him.
shit.
As of right now, Tiedrix is just looking out on the water and enjoying the home smell.
The new home smell.
The part of that that's going to get really awkward really quick is the fact that Tiedrix is standing right next to a ballista.
It's fine.
Fine.
Everything is fine.
You mean a cannon?
No, it's a ballista.
Jing is the one next to the ballista.
Oh, yes. Jing is
Oh.
next to a ballista.
My bad.
Tiedrix is purple.
Correction, Jing is fiddling with a policeman.
I don't. Which we might have to ignore the cannons, because if I remember right, there's no black powder tech on this here. So Marcus's statement might be right, and those are just weird shaped ballistas.
Don't worry, if there's one thing we can do, it's ignore the cannon.
Ouch.
Where's this cleverness when actual in-character stuff is happening?
Somewhere far, far away.
In a galaxy far, far away, and another game entirely.
Shush, we'll make Cassie's ears ring. So, what's everyone doing on the ship? Because I'd say about 12 hours pass. It's getting towards evening by this point.
Well, given that it would be in poor taste for Malgarian to just leave the boat behind and show up as a dragon, and then have to defend himself, he probably is going to take a nap for a while.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna fiddle with this ballista and learn its secrets.
I think aside from taking in the ocean air, I think Tiedrix is actually going to be leaning up against the sitting, but leaning up against the edge of the boat, and he's going to be asking the Codex things about spell work as far as blue and white goes.
Okay. You are getting some very basics of information.
It's more than Tiedrix has.
We'll have to do a scene where he learns some significant stuff later, but for right now, just
Yeah,
simple
no,
stuff.
it was just simple stuff.
Fizzle reenacting the Titanic.
Pretty much.
Mm,
Hey, Vidus is snuggly. There's nothing wrong with him. He's a good man. He'll come when he's called, for the most part.
gross.
I almost want to resent the fact that implies other men don't.
That's not how I meant it. But it's mine. Apparently, it's not my night, guys. Matthew.
What?
Context.
Yes, I know. It's glorious.
Vidus is eagerly looking out towards wherever the hell they're going. And Akvis is standing behind him. Equally intrigued.
Actually, I think Fizzle's gonna go over here and we're gonna talk about home.
He's
Okay.
about to initiate Jamaharan.
Wink, wink.
All right, that works. I can move around a spotlight a little bit here between people. So, one of Sika's first questions is like, so where on Vryn do you live? Like I said, I in the college, mostly studying Aetherix.
I moved around a lot. I didn't really, studying.
Isn't there like not a lot of pixies left in Britain?
No, not many.
I'm sorry, I keep putting my foot in my mouth. It's terrible.
It's fine. These things. It's just how it happens.
Brief move of the spotlight over to Tiedrix. The Figment tries to get your attention by simply looking over at Fizzle and Marilyn, like, "Ah, look at that. A human and a pig learning from one another. Certainly the human will benefit from this."
With you being in my head, one would think that you would know that she's been there and done. Not the same person, but with another human.
Wink,
Oh,
wink.
I do. Oh, I do. But I know that me pointing it out mildly agitates.
Why would you say it mildly agitates me?
Because it mildly agitates us, doesn't it?
No? They're both planeswalkers. It would agitate me more that she did it with a regular human.
Oh, and that is the rub, isn't it?
Again, wink, wink.
But if our memories are correct, hasn't she already done it with a ordinary human? Arikari didn't have anything special about her at all, other than possessing the.
That would be the regular human. That annoyed me more than this. She's a planeswalker. Don't particularly trust her, but whatever.
Well, I wouldn't either. She could probably scorch the flesh from our skulls with a single lightning bolt.
Out of character, I just want to say, did you see how long that lightning ball lasted? I doubt it.
Shush! Dice screwing me does not rate actual character effectiveness.
Sure it does.
She's twice your level and should act it.
I said out of character. I shouldn't say that, but no. There are many more powerful mages than me.
And with that, we're going to return the spotlight back to Fizzle and Sika. So where have you been on your travels? Where have you walked to?
We spent some time on Muruganda. That was interesting. We stayed in
Out of character, Alkaba.
No, I was trying to remember the mage's name when we stayed in his tomb.
Oh, Vryn. He's just Vryn. Or Vayne, sorry.
We stayed in Vane's tomb. It was nice. Then we went to Alkaba for a while. Not as long, but
I've been to Alkaba. We, Riddick and I. Oh, and another planeswalker. You wouldn't know him. His name is Solus. We stopped a individual from raiding a tomb.
huh, interesting. We stopped people raiding a tomb. We lived in a tomb. Interesting.
That's the thing. I've never heard of Vryn or Muruganda. What's it like?
Okay, so picture lots of jungles. Big lizards that aren't dragons. A giant slime that eats a lot of things that got killed. Killed really good. And then people half naked living in huts. It's fun.
Do you like half naked people? She gives a glance over to how Yav is dressed, and the fact that many of our party does not seem to invest in shirts.
Not those people.
She takes a moment. Oh? Question mark? Oh. She blusses and doesn't seem to know how quite to take.
In the butt.
I was gonna say, I'm sure Fizzle can find some way for her to take it.
Oink, oink.
She attempts to change the subject. So the kitsune in the robes. He asked me if I wanted to do a thesis.
Uh-huh. He's a scholar. He likes to write things.
Would he be a good partner for that sort of thing? I mean,
You know what? I'm not sure. I haven't known him that long. We don't talk that much. It's kind of stuffy.
I'm years from my thesis, but an extra pair of hands would be wonderful.
If you're into that, I guess.
Does he know anything about etheric conduit?
You know what? I don't know, but he's not. He's from somewhere else, so I don't know if they got that kind of stuff there. But he might. He's not dumb. I tell him he's dumb. It's fun, but he's not dumb.
Probably skilled too. I've never seen a scholar wield a sword.
I wouldn't. I don't know.
Or at least I assume that thing on his hip is a sword.
You could probably ask him a lot of this stuff yourself if you wanted to.
I don't
I'm
know
sure
if
he'd
it's
love
obvious.
to talk your ear off.
I don't know if it's obvious, but I'm kind of the quiet type. I mean, I try. I try to be personable and friendly, but I find contraptions much better company than.
You're doing okay right now.
Well, we're from the same place. We have something in common.
But you're both scholars. You got that in common.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Am I being Jing's wingman right now?
Please tell me she said that out loud.
Yes. Yes, she did.
I don't quite understand what a wingman is or what it's for, but.
Oh god, she's hitting on the virgin.
I noticed.
Let's see. You spent a lot of time just in school, haven't you?
Mostly in the library, yeah.
Ah, I see.
Or, well, also outside the city limits, because they don't like when you shoot off lightning inside the city limits.
Oh, sure. I understand that. I still do it anyway, but I get it.
I imagine with you being able to supply, you would be a lot harder to catch than me.
Well, I for a while I couldn't, so that's kind of, though I could hide in a lot more places than you could too.
That's also true. And so with that, I'm gonna shift the spotlight over a little bit to Marcus and Yav over there.
All right.
So he's been watching you just for a bit since the whole Wet Willy incident. So What you carving?
Memories.
Oh wow, now that you talk, you have an even deeper voice than me. What the hell?
Is this a budding romance as well?
That's
So
gonna be some ugly offspring.
Wolfman, I got
Jimmy, I know. I don't know if you
Magic.
paid
He
attention
can
in health
create
class.
things. He can create things. So it's
Malgarian could always use his creation to do a fertility chant.
No, I can't.
I'll allow it. I'll allow this new boon to happen, and
Medusa
I'll
walks
write it.
awkwardly from the doorway.
Why not? Me and you, Matt, we will write this fertility chant. It'll be a new boon. We'll
Okay.
submit it to the book. So, getting back to it, he goes, so, I've had a ponderance that I've been pondering since I saw you sleeping. Flemmy. So are you like?
Josh?
So how'd you contract lycanthropy?
I don't know.
Well, help me narrow it down a little bit. What plane you?
Crap. Now I actually have to look that up again. It's been a while.
It's Pyrulia.
Pyrulia.
A werewolf from Pyrulia. That's so you're natural, not contract.
No.
How does that work anyway? You just born with it?
No.
It's Maybelline.
I'm simply asking out of a professional interest. I mean,
When I was born, I was human. No special anything. I went into the woods one day and I woke up this way the next day.
can't remember anything from that.
Nope.
Yeah, God damn it, my voice isn't doing that. It's trying to phlegm up.
It does take practice to talk like that, and it's still kind of hard for me.
Well, I'm still been sick, and I don't think my throat's fully recovered, even like 4 weeks out. So, well, that explains the carve. Probably something that's repressed in your head.
No. Not
No?
repressed. I just don't want to talk about it.
Now then, forgive me. Didn't mean to pry too much. So Jing's over there scribbling.
Scribble.
Why not? Jing, Akvis, and Vitus, give me a perception check.
Okay. So you mean the dragon's gonna notice things that the rest of us have no hope of seeing?
Potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yup. Yup.
I have 0 perception, so yeah.
Yep.
I forgot there's like 6 of these dudes hanging around.
Just humor you.
That's 5, right?
God, they're everywhere.
Wait, I can't see them.
I'm sorry, Agnes. You're just blind.
She is a lizard, okay? Heat
I
vision.
sense things. Yeah, I sense things through heat pits in my jawbones, not with my eyes.
The cool ocean breeze is just fucking with her.
Yes, why not? So Jing and Vitus see it though. There's a. At first, it looks like a bird, way out in the distance. But as the ship comes closer, and the bird comes closer, you realize that's too big to be a bird. And there's a human shape on top of it.
Okay, you just said two totally conflicting things there.
There's a large pair of wings in the sky, and there's a human on top of it.
um, there's a man up there.
Vidus howls.
I can shoot it with a ballista.
During this, Tiedrix is going to not pay attention to Figment and look up.
I love how you just nicknamed him Figment.
Yep.
I'll be right back.
Mainly because I forget his name and I don't want to call him Naruto.
Nenaro.
Nenaro.
But Figment works fine, especially considering his character sheet is now the Figment in Tiedrix's head.
Oh, okay.
I believe his name is Salt Bay.
Salt Bay.
The silence of a GM who's mad because that's better.
39.
Jesus.
Sorry, 38.
Good thing none of us are gems.
All right, so you see a flash emerge from the winged glider, and suddenly a barrage of golden arrows made literally of solidified white mana peg upon the deck.
Do they look anything like the arrows that were jumping at us in the forest?
Almost exactly.
Oh no.
And
hey,
it's
John?
these dwarfs. Yes.
I'm gonna whip it out.
You're gonna what?
Let me just whip this out.
Oh my.
I'm drawing my whip.
Pegged through the ankle by golden arrows, these three dwarves are currently literally scuppered to the deck and immobilized. I'm gonna need initiatives, people.
Is there an initiative penalty for wielding a ballista?
No.
Awesome.
It will give you +2 on all agi rolls to attack.
+2?
Advantage 2.
Oh, okay. Hey. Oh shit! I forgot to think before I did that.
You got what thing?
I forgot to click my pod before I rolled initiative.
Oh, it's okay. I'll plug it in.
I got a 10.
Matt, give me a perception.
Yeah, that's gonna go over well. Let's see. On the plus side, I get advantage.
Sure.
Well, I guess that depends. Is this considered an action roll outside of combat?
Yes, it's considered outside of combat.
Okay.
Dang, the wind is really blowing tonight. Yeah, Matt, that's enough to wake up.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you wake up literally to the smell of white mana. The minute it starts being pulled on, you're like, wait, what?
It's like, here, that is a bad thing.
Hang on, I just have to quickly go through. And where's Jing's roll?
10.
10.
Somehow.
All right.
So I'm first again?
Yes, indeed.
Yay! Can I see that what he's flying in on is a glider instead of an animal?
Yes, probably at this point. Yes, you can tell that it's a glider, not an animal.
Let's see how he likes it. On fire. I'm gonna launch fire at.
Okay.
I feel like we all got that.
Nope.
He banks the glider and dodges. His turn.
Good.
He's going to be targeting with a -2 disadvantage on Jing, Acvis, and Vitus with another arrow shower. Oof. He rolled 2 1s on that one.
Yay!
Wow.
Okay. Bulgarian, you're up.
Yeah, he's pretty much gonna run up to the deck and, would I have enough movement to get to the top deck and transform to take flight? After, seeing dudes freaking pinned to the ground?
Yeah, you could do that.
Alright, that's probably gonna, and then as far as my, action-y action, does which forms of magic have prevalence for the plane?
I don't think we ever decided that as far as me and Jimmy when I was doing the right. I figured that everything's pretty much.
Everything's in balance. It's just everybody uses it weird.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to be rolling creation then to bolster. Sorry, one sec. Why is this not loading right? Okay, I'm going to actually use it to bolster my creation magic. I'm aiming for advantage 2, which would be a DC 18.
Okay.
And I continue to roll like shit.
I don't know, that's a pretty good perception. Welcome back.
Hello.
So I'm going to say Mulgarian is currently right here. Kevin, can you just come up from the deck? Oh wait, stories are facing that way. Okay, right there.
Do you want to adjust him to his appropriate size?
Sure.
Or are we just going to leave him as is as a placeholder?
Oh, this is gonna be hard to explain.
Oh.
There's no one to see but the dwarf.
Who have already seen him.
Yes, that's true.
I think it's really easy to. By the way, this guy's a dragon. The end.
Tiedrix, didn't you say that dragons don't exist on this plane?
Dragons do not exist on Jarhedan.
He's an intelligent flying magic lizard that can blow shit up.
So the guy right next to you screams something in Dwarvish.
We can translate that.
Yeah, it breaks out to be, "Oi! No one told us we were transporting some big, scaly, flappy, toothy..."
Again with
By God's hammer!
insults.
It's beyond your pay grade.
I mean, to be fair, by the time they die, everything's above their pay grade because they're not getting paid.
Fuck this! I'm out of here.
Oh shit.
And he literally runs over and mans the ballista.
And what?
And mans the ballista.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I'm getting as far away to a helpful spot that is far away from this lizard man. This creature that has just appeared from our below deck. Alright, Sika's turn. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to talk later. assassins. She's going to move there and attempt to take a shot. The chamber on her back, the battery fills with lightning as she channels blue into it. Yay! Damage.
Do you want me to roll initiative, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Did you not?
No, I AFK'd. I've been...
Oh,
I danced on
sorry.
the phone. No, you're good. I was just trying to figure out if someone had rolled for me or if I needed to.
Yeah. Did you actually hear the situation going on?
Nope.
Basically, there's a man on a glider, and he's shooting lots of arrows made of white mana.
I did hear that part. I didn't hear the part where there were things on the ship.
Okay.
But I think I'm good. I think I follow. Not only did I have a token selected. Do you want me to
That
roll
dude is
with the
going
token,
to...
or are you gonna add it?
Oh, I'll add it.
Thank you. It's just not my night.
Did you get Vidus as well?
I thought I was sharing initiative.
Right.
Although if I can take his initiative, I will happily. Never mind. They're the same now.
Okay. So, he's piloting the boat. That brings it to Fizzle. Did Emily also AFK?
What? How? What?
It's your turn.
Okay. We're gonna blast Mr. Shooty McDude face.
Okay.
With a glitter ball.
Glitter ball!
Yeah. It's like a fireball, only shiny.
The gem hunter hates glitters. The only thing that he likes that sparkles is gemstones. How dare you? Oh,
jeez.
I rain burning glitter upon his face.
He attempts to put out his cloak, which is now burning. And my entire trailer shakes with the wind.
That's just the power of the glitter ball.
Jing, you're up.
All right. I think we all know what I'm going to do.
Do we?
He wants to shoot a ballista.
Alright, shoot that ballista. It's an agility roll.
Woo! I'm going to shoot the ballista.
With an advantage of +2, or an advantage 2.
Alright. Big money no whammies, go!
He banks it again and the ballista bolt sails wide. This is not very combat-y music. I apologize.
We forgive you.
Do we?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only one that matters.
Ow.
Well, everyone else forgives him. You don't. Everyone else matters. It's fine, Matt.
I'm dead inside.
Why not? We'll go with Orc 1 for this.
Sarah.
So, Yav's up. Yav senses what the dragon was attempting to do. Runs over and goes, this might tickle a bit. He grabs his tail, channels white into.
Why? Could you please rephrase that a little bit?
Is that enough to at least give you advantage 1 on creation?
Yeah.
Okay, you have advantage 1 on creation. He bolsters it. Fly big, Mr. Dragon. Smack him down.
Okay, he does have to. That is a sustain persists, so.
And Dwarfy Boy. This one is going to try and run over and help one of his comrades. He ain't going to get all the way there. Well, I guess if he makes double move. There we go. Okay, Marcus is up. Actually, no. Actus is up because she's at 8.
Okay. Akvis, is this guy rooted? Is that what's going on there?
Yeah, he's rooted.
Okay. Akvis is going to hit him very hard.
He's like impaled by his ankle.
It's fine. We're going to hit him
Okay.
very hard. I also
Wait,
just realized
why?
that there was another one unpinned on the other side that I couldn't see through the ballista.
Oh
Wait,
no,
where?
those,
Hitting
these
the
are
dwarves?
those are our allies.
Wait. What
Those are the-
what are the? Oh, so they're just the dwarves on the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the
That's
skeleton
what I
crew
was
that you were.
missing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What's
I
the
was
range
about
on the
to
thing
say-
in the air?
That's damn, Sarah. That's hard.
It's about 60 feet up.
So I'm gonna use long shot on my entropy to get an entropy attack off.
I was sitting there thinking, like, maybe she's trying to, like, knock him free, like, throw him out, like, pull the arrow all the way out of his ankle.
I know,
Okay.
right? Like, I faith in
He
her so
again-
absolute, I just assumed she
He again banks and dodges with the
Okay. Vidus is going to
Vidus.
fly up.
flying dog.
Flying wolf is going to breathe entropy on the giant dragon.
Okay. He gets it.
What? You mean the glider?
Glider, dude.
The evil thing that I'm apparently having a whole hell of a lot of trouble with.
It's just Sarah's bloodlust for the game that she was running is apparently coming through. She's like, "Oh, TPK the party," but you are the party. TPK the party.
In my defense, I haven't TPK'd the party yet. In either game. I'm plotting. But
Why
okay.
are you not? Why are you not doing the thing? Roll 20. Why? There we go.
Oh, but wait, I was supposed to have advantage on that. Oh well,
Oh well.
it's fine.
Get it next time.
Yep.
All right. So
just roll
Well-
a base 1d8 and higher than 7, apply it.
Marcus is up.
Marcus has no ranged ability, so he's going to attempt to conjure an axe, and specifically a throwing axe, so that next round, if it's still at range, you can throw it.
Okay.
Can he Genesis stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, he's got creation as well.
Oh, cool.
Actually, it's probably pretty close to yours.
I'm at rank 5. I can't do shit.
Well,
Neither can Marcus.
Uh,
Yes, Tiedrix.
seeing as how he's over on that side, could I have used a move during my last turn to move closer to him? Because
Yeah.
I didn't realize what side of the boat he was on.
Up to well, yeah, I hadn't placed his token at that point. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
30 feet. Also, I guess to show you guys what he looks like, I'll get another token.
Wait, is this his token out here?
Yes, that's his token.
Okay, that's where Vidus is.
So this is the dude that you're fighting right now.
Oh,
God, he's huge.
Well, since all that failed, Marcus is going to climb up on the foredeck and hang out.
Okay. Tiedrix's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna try and hit him again with another fireball.
Okay.
No, not that one. Damn it.
Yeah, he dodges again.
Fuck you.
And that moves it to his turn. Speeds by. And with one hand shapes a pattern with white. Disadvantage 2. He's targeting 2 additional targets. Ooh, good. Good. So he grabs this one. And you suddenly see the pinned dwarf just, it's almost like a white portal opens up. Suddenly see him out there in the water. Sika also teleported 20 feet. And Jav has to make a little bit of a save, I think.
Uh-oh.
Or a check on his turn to avoid falling in.
Wait, did he
He
drag
teleported.
them out?
Yeah, forced move. He teleported them.
Oh, fucker.
And that will be his turn. Bulgarian's up.
Cool. So damn. Can't do that.
Are dwarves made of sugar? Did he just drop dead immediately?
Well, he's effectively out of combat. Like, the boat continues moving forward, and he's in the water.
Where is the thing that I was looking for? Okay, I know I could do this before. Wait. Sorry, 1 second. The friggin' webpage is being a pain in my ass. Oh, god damn it, it's a bane, not a boon. Cool. So, I am going to chase after him, and I'm going to use Provoked.
Okay.
I mean, I guess aiming for power level 4 with how I'm friggin' rolling. Advantage 1, submit.
Oof.
Oh shit. So that bumps it up to power level 9, right?
Yeah, what does that entail, Matt?
The target suffers disadvantage 6 on attacks that do not include you.
Fuck. Way to ruin my strategy, Matt.
See, it could be worse than fatigue.
Teleport the flying guy, why don't you?
Arrows, arrows, arrows to the dragon's heart.
Resisting this bane is a minor action. When inflicting this bane using agility or might, you may determine range using the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Resist minor, and so it's a minor action for him to try and resist. If he fails it 3 times, it lasts for a full minute.
And he needs a 19 on his resolve to break it since he used creation, right? Because power level 9, it needs a 10 plus power level to break.
So what I rolled has no bearing on the resist.
It does. I think that's how it works, because, like, watch, if you click your resist roll, at the bottom it says versus 10 plus Bane is removed. So I'm like, is that 10 plus the power level of the Bane you inflicted?
Or is it 10 plus 30?
Because I'm going to tell you right now, looking at that, what you roll, there's no way to beat 10 plus 30. You only roll a d. So
then, and so I know that as far as the whole, like, hey, you get a free other thing to throw and whatnot. I know that we've been doing that for damage effects, but does that work for any Bane invocation?
So
because there's got to be a reason for, like, what's the benefit to rolling that many?
I think the rules as written say it's on attack rolls or damaging attack rolls. Hang on, I was just looking at that earlier because I had the same question.
Yeah, so on a normal attack rolls, where you're intending to do damage with a normal, like, melee attack or ranged attack, if you exceed by 10, you get to automatically include a bane. Secondly, resist banes are flat against the power level, plus 10. If it's anything other than that, you have the, oh, hey, look, I exploded 30 times, I'm at 500. They're never going to save, the fight's over. And so the game tries to avoid that by having static numbers.
Yeah, and that's what Josh was saying. But but my main question being, like, what is the point of being able to have your dice explode that much if it's just a, oh look, I crushed their defense, like the game, I don't know, if it is aimed at only damage effects, get the ability to invoke a Bane by rolling super, super well, then why not just make a Great Cleave Fighter for every character?
Fair enough.
I mean, you can also choose specifically to roll to inflict a Bane or a boon.
Yes, but that's what I mean. Like, you may as well roll Great Cleave Fighters for the purposes of, if I'm really good at doing damage, I'll just KO them, or also get to throw a boon out.
Yeah, and no RPG system is perfect.
I know, and that's the thing. I'm just trying to understand what this one's like, because if I can inflict another Bane on him, I would like to. What would you inflict? Blinded.
Fuck my life, really?
I mean, at that point,
it's rank 5. It's rank 5. Malgarian is functionally a dragon paladin. His whole thing was pretty much going to be like a, woof, you are now, like, bound to me with this, like, big flash of light.
He's a Final Fantasy XIV paladin.
Yeah, I never got that far.
You're a Final Fantasy XIV paladin. It's fine. It's literally a turn of blind. It's great in a flash of light.
Give me a minute. Let me give me a moment to pick up what blind is. Because maybe.
Okay, blinded reads as Target cannot see as long as the effect persists. The target automatically fails any perception rolls based solely on sight. Attack rolls and perception rolls based partially on sight that can be supplemented by another sense suffer disadvantage 5. Target's guard defense is reduced by 3.
I see. Well, yeah, I could do that. I could say that he's also blind because it's creation versus guard. So when he wants to take it off, he has to try and roll 15 and on a d20. That's so 19 to be unprovoked, 15 to be unblinded. God damn it, Matt.
On the plus side, resisting blind doesn't take one of his actions.
True. So that dwarf there, he turns the ballista around and attempts to fire at the man. This is going to be funny. I did not give the dwarfs good agility.
Oh no.
And yet he still hits.
Wow.
Especially considering Matt just dropped the dude's defense. So hang on.
Dropped his guard by 3.
By 3, yeah. So 16 minus 23.
7.
7. $12 damage dealt to him. All right. Sika's turn, and she's going to try and throw lightning. I kind of thought this was how this fight would go, considering it's one guy versus a giant group, but you know.
I wanted to set him up.
Holy! So remember that lightning ball that didn't really do anything?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, he's dead.
Not exactly. She basically conjures up a literal javelin made of lightning and hurls it as hard as she can. 30 damage? Oh yeah, this fucker did.
Did he just evaporate?
No. You all feel something. The glider literally dissolves into an exploded mass as he cries out, pierced through the chest with this javelin. All the planeswalkers on board practically feel this man's soul tremble as suddenly he's sucked away, disappeared.
Out.
You hear he's a planeswalker, and so now that you've killed him, his spark reacts by jumping him.
Oh.
You hear the suck of wind as it basically jerks him immediately into the ether and throws him somewhere, wherever it feels is safe.
Oh.
And that fight took a lot less time than I thought it would. But hey, such is the will of the dice. Yes, pieces of the glider land on the thing, on the deck, like one of the wings. The others land on the ocean. The dwarf at the boat makes the call. Come about, man overboard.
Malgarian's gonna fly off and scoop the dwarf out of the water.
He is a screaming mess.
Yeah, that's expected.
He does not let you get a sense of his dwarven shrieks and bellows and grunts, admitting to, I don't like lizards, I don't like water, I don't like being, and I don't like this frickin' arrow in my frickin' leg. Frickin' magical arrow.
I heal him.
Oh, great. Now one less thing I can bitch about. I'm still cold, wet, and lizard-bound.
When Malgarian sets him down. Sorry?
Lizard bound.
Right. When Malgarian sets him down on the deck, he's just going to kind of crackle and like we've described before, when he shifts, he kind of turns into light that doesn't really illuminate anything around him, just shifts down.
Right.
Just gonna pat the dwarf on the head with his gauntleted hand and start walking back over towards all the other planeswalkers.
The
So
sopping
that
wet
was fun.
dwarf. The sopping wet dwarf like wrings out his beard. Well, I guess I should be saying thank you. I should be.
Then say it.
Thank you, Flappy Lizard.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah, I'm still hanging off the side of the deck. Little help over here.
I was just gonna ask about it. Oh.
As you get him up on the deck, does anyone have Misika approaches? Does anyone have any idea who that was?
Not a clue.
Was that the same one that attacked us on Moraganda?
What?
I don't know if you will remember this, but you never saw the dude who attacked you on Moraganda.
Oh, I thought we did.
No, you saw his effects. You saw his arrows. You can connect the arrows that just pin these dudes to the deck to him, but you never saw the actual individual.
Well, then that's how Tiedrix asks that question, is connecting the arrows to. Is he another House Casimir agent?
Both Yav and Seekin has shrunk. They've never encountered Casimir.
Also, what was that feeling when he died? Is that normal?
Yes. He's a planeswalker. It's what happens when they flee. When your spark can't sustain you. That's what happens.
Huh.
Yav nods along. It sends you to wherever it can find the first place it can find that it feels. Though what actually constitutes safe is relative and instinctual.
So, kind of like the vampire who went to the sun-baked lands of the last plane we were at.
He nods. It just wants solid ground and somewhere isolated. It doesn't care where it goes.
I suppose the question is, was he a natural planeswalker, or did he just have a device?
Oh, it would take a lot, I think, for the jars that you were describing to have the natural instinct of a living spark.
True. The last one had to pull it out first.
Sika and Yog look confused.
Oh, that whole man in the tower or whatever. And House Casimir have been you said that they've been taking planeswalkers. They've been removing the sparks from planeswalkers and doing a lot of heinous and blasphemous things with them. Like sticking them in objects so that non-planeswalkers can planeswalk. It's a great time.
Their expressions change from confusion to shock and horror.
Yes, so be very careful when dealing with them.
Remember when I said we were here to kill, maybe kill vampires? Now you. Also, they kind of declared war on us. We blew them up good.
Well, either way, now that your assassin has been dealt, let us, I guess, get back underway to the capital. So, I'm going to say the rest of the about day and a half worth of journey passes without incident. You have time to rest, recuperate. I don't think anyone got seriously hurt in the attack.
Except for the
Dwarves. We can fix that.
And you arrive at the capital of Rilaru. Jimmy, want to describe what the capital looks like?
I have to look at the. Do you have the picture up? No, you don't.
I don't think I had a picture.
I sent you a picture.
Curses. Give me a moment then. Was there a picture? It's not pinned in our private messages.
There was a picture. Yep.
Send it to me again and I will throw it up.
Okay.
Ah, yes, this picture.
Uh-huh. Because I sent it to you along with that picture of the city of Brass that you ended up using.
That was a long time ago.
I know it was. Dwayne the Rock's Johnson. Has that been there the entire time?
Yes.
Give me their pictures too. Uploading file. A few minutes. This is what happens when I'm unprepared. I apologize.
Well, it happens to me every Saturday, so you know, there is.
I have my shit together, so I can't say anything about this. Sorry.
There we go.
Looks like
That
old Donald and Chrono Cross.
What's that?
is that a good enough depiction there? So, you arrive at the capital. Disembarking moves smoothly. You notice Yav takes a little time below deck with a little scroll that you didn't notice he had before. When he comes back, all of his rhino-ness has disappeared, replaced with just simply looking like an ordinary. His build's the same, his hair color's the same. But he's now just a tanned human male. Sika has stored away her lightning glove and to make her garb look a little more ordinary. What about the rest of you?
I'm gonna have a discussion with Acvis.
Okay.
While he doesn't want it to be this way, it would be better just to not stir up trouble if you put off the demeanor that you are
Hang on, you cut out the demeanor. The what?
that you're a servant.
One more time. I'm really sorry.
Servant. Since you are non-human, it would be easier to explain away other than trying to alter your form.
You wish me to don a leash and become a pet?
No. I can explain that away. I can explain why you're not in bondage, but it would just be better and easier if you follow a few footsteps behind anybody that you
Do not expect me to appreciate this development. I recognize the necessities in this, and will do as you request, but we are of the agreement that it is merely a request.
and it is merely for show. Don't worry.
Dip my head and then cock it to one side as I look up. Are you trying to soothe ruffled feathers, Tiedrix? One might almost mistake that for you caring about someone else.
He's not going to dignify that with a response.
Acvis pulls the hood of her cloak back over her head and kind of readjusts her stance. Do you want me to roll another disguise check, Josh, or can I just keep the one I rolled last week?
Keep the one you rolled last week.
Alright, so she's going to kind of slouch in on herself and draw her clothing tighter about her. And
well, no,
she's hiding her face.
Well, you don't have to. If you appear as a servant, if you appear that you are subservient to humans, it will go easier than you acting like an equal.
And if I pretend to be subservient to humans while still hiding my face, it's simply fewer stares I have to endure.
Okay, I can understand that.
She whistles piercingly, and Vidus trots over. The bastard goes and sits next to Tiedrix.
Who's that good boy?
Looks like it's getting about time for Reduce 2.0.
So, seeing Jing drinking for the sake of getting ready for an entire nation of Tiedrixes,
Tiedrix eye?
racist
Oh.
bastards.
That reminds me, Jing will get the same speech.
Nope.
No?
So, okay, here's how we'll do this. Tiedrix is walking in ready to be like, Jing, you're my slave now. And
No.
and he walks into Malgarian leaning against a wall next to Jing, who is starting to drink, and he just leans over. I can shapeshift you into something too, not just Vidus. That way, you don't have to deal with it.
My dear lad, I'm a man of reason and logic.
Oh no, this is not gonna go good.
Now, reason dictates that I have come to help these people at no benefit of my own. If they don't want my help because I'm not human, then they can burn in this pretty little hell they've built themselves.
I
Well,
take back
Tiedrix's feathers are ruffled.
I take back some of the things I've said about you, Jing.
So, and believe me, Jing, I agree with that, because blatant blind racism has never served anyone well. But for the sake of getting to the people who get to make that decision on if they're going to spurn your help or not. Since we're going to have to go from the boat dock all the way to wherever this supposed guarded palace is.
Fine.
I don't mean to push if you choose not to take it. Believe me, I thoroughly understand your motivation.
No, you're right. Just the whatever this is talking.
No, it's the indignation and the insult talking.
There is the indignation.
I'm going
really
to
sort of a
reinstate
choir.
some of those things I took back just now.
Damn, Josh.
Them's be some shots fired. Anyway, Josh, is Dwayne the Rocks Johnson over there still maintaining his boost of creation, or did he just let that drop?
He still has it. He
Okay.
hasn't left.
Okay.
And I should give a context that text doesn't bring. When he says another way, it's obvious he doesn't mean like a better way.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sneer to that reeks of, like totalitarian. No. Like totalitarian rule.
Tiedrix will look at the nothingness and say, "You're right. There is another way. It's called lynching before we get to the palace."
I would like to make a perception check.
Make a perception check.
I would like to make a prescience check.
Okay, that's a pretty good perception check. What were you trying to perceive?
Tiedrix, as the scene had been described, Tiedrix had been walking towards or into the room.
Oh.
Which is how he's hearing this conversation.
So your perception that you notice that Tiedrix is not like looking at the group, but instead looking at like the figment that's leaning against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you notice that he's not talking directly at you.
Can I prescience Tiedrix?
Sure.
Without asking permission first? Oh.
Can you?
Can you?
My D6 exploded. Fuck you all.
Anyway,
I shove my fingers against Tiedrix's head, look disgusted at his thick skull, and walk away.
so to that end, while Malgarian's going to first use the boosted creation to try to boost himself further, right? And as he's doing this, while he's doing his Super Saiyan 3 power up, he's gonna kind of look over at Tiedrix and be like, "What about lynching? Because I'm not entirely certain that wanting to avoid people hating us on the principle of existing is lynch worthy." You're shapeshifted. And so, as he says, is exactly lynch-worthy. As he then pats Jing's shoulder, Jing turns into light just like Malgarian does, and then he shapeshifts into...
Please find an adequately epic token.
Hold on.
Don't make him the fat squire. Don't make him the fat squire. Don't make...
Nope. It's even better. Copy image. I'm pasting it into Discord because I can't post things straight into here.
That's racist.
That's like the word of the night tonight.
For those of you at home, there you go.
Jackie Chan Adventures.
It has been demonstrated.
Umo Gwe Gwe Fighty. I'm so glad none of you decided to do magic words with your spellcasting like
Akvis just hisses. Angry
On the way by.
If we went down through the public streets with party as is, without any disguises or whatever, it would be lucky if we made it to the castle.
Exactly. I understand that, and that's the exact thing we were just discussing over here. My point is that...
Well, the Figment was saying that there was another way than disguise, and yeah, that would be the other way. Walking through the streets and getting lynched.
Very well. They can bring their torches and pitchforks. We'll bring our dragon.
I like torches and pitchforks. I mean, the torches are already pre-burned or pre-lit, but I can make them burn so much better. As well as half the city block. Maybe more.
Yob actually approaches at this point. You know that under no circumstances has anyone ever beaten such things by force. You can't change people's minds by beating them up.
I don't intend to change anyone's mind. Just their body a little bit.
You only validate their negative opinion of you.
Yes, but when they're attempting to stab you... it, it's it's a matter of putting the cart before the horse. But let's be perfectly honest. Who is going to sit there and say my pacifism is stronger than you actively stabbing me?
Yeah, without missing a beat goes, my pacifism is stronger than you actively stabbing me.
Oh, he called you out, Bulgarian.
Yes, the difference is I'm not trying to stab him.
Oh shit, Malgarian just called you out back.
It's just food for thought. I understand the frustrations. I'm hardly human myself, and I am not comfortable hiding that fact. But you all do you. You have a mission here. Seek and I will help where we can.
Where will you two be going?
I'm not hiding nothing.
You don't have to, Fizzle. Fairies exist here.
I'm sure that the royal court welcomes them as readily as they do, lizard men that exist here too.
I don't think Fayashino exist here, do they?
They don't.
They don't.
Well, then whatever your other cultures were that you were saying, we should definitely in no way go and actually seek any help from.
I mean, it's much less boring if they're not reacting to me, but whatever.
Oh, they'll look at you with derision.
I meant much more boring. Or no, much less. No, wait.
Wait.
But you're also with the Royal Guard, and apparently we're hiring mercenaries anyway. So they'll probably just figure that you're part of them.
I'm mercenary. I'm excellent at mercenary work. Also, I know all the rude gestures.
Yob actually smiles. Oh, really? Show me some.
Okay. She will proceed to show him some rude gestures.
He makes some rude gestures back.
Nice. But have you seen this one?
Now have you seen this one?
He whips out his dick.
I was tempted to do a waiting thing and have him literally pull up the goat.
Like, I don't have the anatomy for that one, sorry.
Anyway, with that stated, that moment of comedy. So, Jing is disguised. Marcus is Marcusing. Actus, also disguised.
Grumpy, but disguised.
Well, with Marcus, I was going to see if he could turn back into his human form. He's safe here.
Well, if you're going to make Marcus do that, he will, but he's going to be unhappy about it.
Yeah, I know. Join the club. There's a large portion of the party that isn't happy about being here.
Oh, I know.
And I'm not happy that I'm gonna have to eventually explain all of this bullshit.
My heart bleeds for you.
So, Yob kind of, as this is all discussed, honestly, as mercenaries, we have very little say in that. You, your royal guard, you have some say there. So we might look for other avenues in case diplomacy fails.
What is it you
That
guys
would
are going to be
probably
working on,
be
by the way?
Maybe we can find someone who knows a way to the crystal under the noses of the royal family. Who knows?
I'm gonna touch it. It's just what's gonna happen. One way or another.
I'm trying to come up with a line for something about what's her obsession with touching things, but really, I think at this point, Yav and Zika just kind of are like, no, this is fizzle. We
Like,
spent
yeah,
a
that
day and a
tracks.
half with her. This, she said she would like yesterday, so why wouldn't she say the same thing today?
Touching things and writing stuff and glitter. Yeah.
But yes, we'll talk to those in low places, see if something comes up. So, are we all prepared to go?
Yep, sounds like we're pretty much parting ways at the docks, as it were.
Can I prescience myself into Tiedrix's head? Because
You-
I'm cracking up at the idea of him whispering behind him.
Sure.
I would like to place my hand on Tiedrix's back as we walk, and I guess I'm trying to cast a telepathy boon.
I guess,
Bane?
yes.
I don't know.
Well, we'll just say it happens for sake of time. We're just gonna say it
Okay.
happens for sake of time because I don't think Tiedrix will resist, will he?
No.
Then speaking directly into his mind, your plans leave me a little bit ill at ease, I must admit. But go on.
They are probably going to be wondering where I have been for the past 2 months. I'm going to tell them that I found the deep roads.
I see. I'm going to leave this link intact if that is permissible to you for ease
That-
of...
That's fine.
Because Tiedrix needed another voice in his head.
Yeah, I know. I mean, why not?
Why not? Three's a party, right?
Oh god, the figment is saying something.
Oh, do you want me to just talk?
Oh. Go for it, Josh.
I'll just repeat what I wrote. Okay. Oh, of course they do, Lady Necromancer. Let us face facts. This world is a mess. It needs very proper rule.
I'm just gonna think.
Dirty.
It has proper rule.
No, it does not. It has a weak species sitting on paper thrones.
That is your opinion.
Trying to seduce me with promises of power.
Don't listen to him. He hates humans. No, he's a human. He hates humans.
He's a vampire, though, right?
No.
No.
No, he wasn't, was he? He was the
No, he was
He was
human.
a slave.
The slave. You're trying to
Just-
seduce me with promises of power.
Just because your humanity became cattle does not mean it's cattle everywhere else.
I have seen very little observable fact to prove me otherwise.
Out of character, would the spark translate humanity differently? Like I'm aiming for the idea of humanity as a quality, not as a race.
Yes, it would
Yeah.
translate it differently to maintain the context.
Okay. Perhaps the idea of mortality is not quite in line with the ideas of humanity. But mortals will do interesting things when they find the needs and are threatened.
Tiedrix gonna think, or they're just gonna suck up the vampires and hope and pray that they're just gonna be made into one of them.
Alas,
Oh.
it would seem that some humans do in fact roll over and expose their soft bellies.
I did no such thing. I proved my worth. I was more useful this way.
To your
You were
Dead.
more.
race.
I was gonna say you were more useful as a crispy critter.
That was your doing, not theirs.
Actually, it was yours.
Actions have reactions and consequences. Yours got you where you are now. Ours will take us elsewhere.
Well, they weren't my actions. Let's face it. I'm Tiedrix.
You are a fragment that has connected itself to Tiedrix.
Oh. Am I? I feel pretty whole in here.
Frame of reference. And she's actually going to throw up a mental block on her end to keep that voice out. Or is it too,
Okay.
is it too inextricably Tiedrix for her to do that?
No, you can do that.
I can do it too, right?
No, you have to suffer. You picked to succeed with a twist.
Yes, Matt. Akvis still hisses. Akvis still hisses in her head. Go home, Matt.
Joke's on you. Where do you think I've been the whole time?
So the voice kind of whispers in Tiedrix's head once again. She can block me, but let's face it, the only one who I actually care about hearing me is you. But let's continue.
An obnoxious show tune in Tiedrix's head.
But I'll stay quiet for now. I'm curious where this farce will go.
you're truly a part of me, then you know exactly where this.
Oh, I know what you're going to attempt. But do you really think you can trust them to pull it off?
More than you could trust your vampire lords to save your stupid sorry butt.
Aw, snap.
Oh, Tiedrix. They're not my lords. They're our lords.
No, they're your lords. Vampires here get killed.
Vampires in their home plane get killed too. Explosions.
and they got killed in your home plate too. Their entire
Wills.
castle's gone.
I think we can
How
play
many of them
that
do you
for the
think-
thing that somehow.
Oh, Tiedrix.
And you know what's even better about that? You helped us with that.
All I'm going to say is, do you think that your group is the only ones who cannot disguise themselves? And with that, he just like fades from your head for a moment, slinking back to whatever dark corner he inhabits.
No. What a stupid question.
And just for the sake of segueing everybody else's conversation, that's as Tiedric's been spaced the fuck out inside of his freaking brainscape.
No,
or whatever.
actually, that last part was actually out loud. No. It doesn't.
Well, Bulgarian just looks up. You just ruined the punchline.
What now?
You ruined the punchline. Whatever. Let's go. But anyway, Jing, so as I was saying, that's when I bought the horse a prostitute.
Good night, everyone.
Wow. We're bringing least I could do into this.
Say good night. I can't top that. We're done. Till next week, we're done.
Do we have a cut?
I'm gonna play music.
I am music. Cut us. Get us out of here.
You all willingly socialize with me. I just want you to know that.
I mean, to be fair. And it also kind of sounds like something Fizzle might just yell out.